According to a research that was published on Thursday, the personal wealth of members of the United States Congress has skyrocketed in recent years, making lawmakers on average far wealthier than the majority of Americans as of 2006. So first, make sure to subscribe to our channel for further videos and also press the bell icon for latest notifications. According to the Center for Responsive Politics, a Washington watchdog group that analyzes the influence of money on government, the median net worth of senators was estimated to be $1.7 million, while the median net worth of members of the House of Representatives was projected to be $0.6 million. In a report that was recently made public, the center stated that up to the recent downturn in the economy, legislators enjoyed an extraordinary run in their personal investments and other finances. According to the research, members of Congress, who are now paid about $0.16 million annually, saw their net worths soar 84% from 2004 to 2006 on average. It was believed that Democratic Representative Jane Harman of California has the most fortune of any member of Congress. The politician from the Los Angeles area is married to Sidney Harman, the founder of audio product manufacturer Harman International Industries and the executive chairman of the company. According to the center, its conclusions were derived from the most recent financial disclosure forms that lawmakers had submitted, which covered the year 2006, as well as disclosures for the 2 years prior to that. It was stated that information for 2007 would be made public throughout the summer. Because parliamentarians are only permitted to reveal their assets and liabilities in ranges, the center stated that Representative Harman's net worth may be anywhere from $222 million to as high as $597 million. In 2006, the center estimated that Representative Harman had a net worth of $409 million. According to the statement made by the center, employing the financial disclosure forms that are now used by Congress makes it impossible to ascertain the exact net worth of a person. Congress has a lot of money. How wealthy? Roll Call published the results of its annual examination of financial disclosure forms on Monday, naming the 50 richest members of Congress. This is not an easy club to join. One must have a net worth of at least $7.4 million in order to make it into this year's list. Who exactly has the most dollars in Benjamins? Who would it be? Daryl, Nancy, or Mitch? The following is an explanation of what the list reveals about our legislators. The average American household income is far lower than that of a member of Congress. Representative Darrell Issa comes out on top with a net worth of $357.25 million, putting him in the lead for the second year in a row. This is primarily due to the phenomenal success he has had in the manufacturing of vehicle alarms. Issa's fortune is 3 times that of Michael McCall, who comes in second position with $117.54 million. Nancy Pelosi, the leader of the minority caucus in the House of Representatives, came in third place, $74.11 million, and Mitch McConnell, the leader of the minority caucus in the Senate, came in 32nd place with net assets of $11.97 million. According to research conducted by the Center for Responsive Politics in 2012, the typical member of Congress had a net worth of more than $1 million. When it takes an average of more than $10 million to obtain a seat, it should come as no surprise that the affluent and those with strong connections will have a disproportionate amount of power. Neither is the abundance of money in Congress a recent development, but the fact that there are so many multimillionaires working in Congress, along with the well-documented rise in wealth inequality over the past few decades, contributes to the widespread belief that lawmakers are out of touch with the requirements of the average American. David Perdue, a former CEO of Dollar General who is running for the Republican nomination for the Senate seat in Georgia, was accused by the campaign manager of an opponent in the primary of failing to comprehend that this is an election, not an auction. Mitch McConnell has been accused by Senate challenger Allison Lundergan Grimes in Kentucky for quadrupling his net worth on the backs of Kentuckians that can't afford it. Candidates for the presidency all confront the same challenges. While Mitt Romney spent much of the 2012 campaign fending off accusations on his huge personal wealth, which were fueled by comments like "My wife drives a couple of Cadillacs," Hillary Clinton has made questionable claims that she and Bill were dead broke upon leaving the White House. Mitt Romney spent much of the 2012 campaign fending off attacks on his massive personal wealth. They have a variety of sources for their financial support. Although Darrell Issa initially amassed the most of his wealth through the successful management of his company, he has now shifted the majority of his holdings into the bond market. Others, such as Representative Joseph Kennedy ID and Senator Jay Rockefeller, are heirs to considerable family wealth. The majority of Representative Gary Miller's fortune comes from his real estate holdings. This accounts for 94% of his total wealth. The source of McCall's riches may be traced directly back to that of his wife's family. The declaration of his financial situation reveals that he does not personally own even a single asset. Additionally, Senators John McCain and Claire McCaskill derive more than 94% of their wealth from the assets owned by their respective spouses. The wealth of members of Congress comes from a variety of sources, but there is one common thread that ties it all together. In contrast, the majority of the people they represent, these parliamentarians do not receive the majority of their income from paychecks. In 2010, more than 150 legislators stated that they made more money from outside investments than they did from their congressional pay, which is now set at $0.17 million for rank-and-file members of the House or Senate. The median income for a household in the United States was $0.5 million in 2012, and the median net worth of a household was $56 million. This disparity between the public and parliamentarians has the potential to skew the debate in Congress on issues such as the tax on capital gains and the deduction for mortgage interest, both of which have a greater impact on members of Congress than they do on the majority of their voters. This group represents both major political parties and is overwhelmingly composed of white men. There have been efforts made by some members of Congress to solve the gender pay gap, which refers to the fact that, according to the Pew Research Center, women earn only 84% as much as their male counterparts in the same jobs. Women make up 9 of the top 50 wealthiest members of Congress, which is comparable to the 18.8% of Congress that they make up, which is a record high. Men and women are represented proportionately in the affluent club of Congress. There are 20 Democrats in the top 50, whereas there are 30 Republicans. However, Democrats hold positions 3 through 11 in this list. Although Republicans are frequently characterized as the party of the wealthy, in reality, they represent districts with lower levels of income disparity than do Democrats. This is primarily due to the fact that Democrats perform better in metropolitan areas. While the composition of the parties may be reasonably even, the breakdown of races is everything but. Despite being the most diverse Congress in history, 82% of its members are white. White people make up every single one of the top 50 wealthiest lawmakers. Unfortuitously, even in a club of top earners like this one might anticipate elected black men and women to trail behind whites in terms of their wealth. For every dollar owned by a white home in the United States, black households own approximately a nickel. You can say this for the Americans: the individuals Americans elect are fairly adept at determining what to do with their own money. Although Americans may not have a lot of faith in their representatives, you can say this for them. Investments can range from the commonplace Johnny Isakson invested in Bank of America, to the cutting edge Jared Polis invested in Uber, to the outlandish Alan Grayson invested in memorabilia authenticity. Who will finish first on the list the next year? Although it is still too early to tell, it appears that Darrell Issa has a commanding lead. The fact that you are already a member is a significant benefit, as any member will attest to for you. This is it for today's video. Subscribe to our channel and like this video if you enjoyed watching it.